guys, and welcome to part 5. This is the first morning of Finke. As you can see, we are in a primo spot, just looking down over the track. It's perfect. First competitor, Toby Price, ended up winning the whole thing, but yeah, he's just screaming past. He was just absolutely flat out. He was pretty much full throttle the whole way. He was yeah, really on it too. He was great to watch. And this is pretty much how the rest of the day continued. We just sat up and watched the buggies and cars race. It was fantastic, really great, and I mean the spot was just awesome as well. Provided a great view, and you know, we could see pretty much everything. The cars ran first, and then it moved into the bikes after that. So yeah, it turned out to be a really entertaining day. It was pretty overcast in the morning, however, it did turn into actually a really nice day as the bikes began to run. So as I mentioned in our last video, we were about 12 to 15 k's from Finke, so we were pretty close to the start finish line. Start for the second day, obviously it was the finish for the first day, but yeah, it was a great spot, and I highly recommend, if you're going to go to Finke, definitely consider getting yourself up on a dune, because yeah, it just provides an awesome sort of overview of the whole landscape and provides a great view to watch the actual race. Yeah, it is nice to be sort of down flat and, you know, right in the action. However, I think you can see a heap more when you're up high on a dune. And yeah, for me it was just, yeah, it was a really great idea to be up there. And yeah, we had a great time just sitting around and watching all the cars and stuff go past. Yeah, it was awesome. So that was day one. We're now moving into day two. Everyone's obviously starting from Finke now, and Toby Price again leading the pack, leaving first. It's awesome to hear it in the morning. You can just hear him absolutely flying along, just foot flat, having a really great time. It's just awesome to watch. Yeah, I highly recommend getting there and just seeing it, because it's awesome. It's just so good to be in the atmosphere. Cars are so loud. Even though they've brought in, you know, the rule you got to be 30 meters back from the track, you know, it's still just as enjoyable. You know, there's really no need to be that close to the track. Yeah, great, get some great photo and video. However, you know, you can still enjoy it from, you know, being back a little bit further. And I mean, you're not really missing out on anything, but it is what it is, and that rule allows the race to continue every year. So yeah, it's just best to abide by the rules. But as you can see, you know, we're close enough, and I'm still getting some really great videos as they come flying past. And you know, even if you're not really so much into the race, it's still great to be out there and just be in the atmosphere. And I mean, the scenery and the environment that you're in is awesome, especially during this time of the year too. It was beautiful. Temperature was Mickey Mouse. It was cool in the mornings, but not unbearable. Same with overnight, you know. And during the day, the sun had come out and it was, yeah, perfect weather. We only had a little shower, a really tiny little shower on the first day, but apart from that, yeah, it was nothing. So we actually pack up this day, because obviously the race ends. We stayed around and watched all the cars and the bikes go. And then we packed up and we headed back through Finke, back to the Dalhousie Hot Springs, where we stayed the night there, and it was packed. It was really packed at the hot springs, because obviously everyone was coming back and everyone had the same idea. So yeah, it was packed there. So that's something to keep in mind if you are planning on doing a very similar trip. Just, yeah, know it's going to be busy. So there's plenty of cars and bikes and stuff everywhere, and caravans. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So we stayed at Dalhousie Hot Springs for the night, and then we continued on and did the Unadilla track. We camped along the track about 40 k's from Maree, which was quite nice. We just found a random spot and camped up. Some really great history out there of the old Garn Railway, a lot of different old buildings and ruins and stuff out there of stations and water towers and all that sort of stuff. Really interesting along there, and well worth a drive. Not very long and not very hard. Very similar to sort of Birdsville, I guess. And certainly very easy once it's dry. However, obviously when it's wet, it turns into a different story. So yeah, certainly worth a look. Yeah, some really interesting things to take a look at out there. We then did that, and then we headed back through Murray and down into the Flinders Ranges, which I was originally going to spear off from Murray and go home. However, I decided that I'll spend an extra day with the boys and head down to the Flinders Ranges with them, and I was very glad that I did. That concludes the trip. It was, yeah, awesome. Something you definitely need to add to your bucket list and something that you need to tick off. It's amazing to see that part of our country, as it's so different to everything that we're sort of used to, unless you live out there, of course. But it's certainly something that you need to get out there and do, even if you don't go to Finke and watch the race. You know, even just get out there and go to these places that we went to, and out of Birdsville, Mungarini Hotel, you know, the Dalhousie Hot Springs, William Creek, you know, all these sort of places that are just so stunning and amazing. Flinders Ranges, like, during the evening and the mornings, it just, yeah, really turns it on. It's a really magic place to be, and skies are so bright, full of stars, and yeah, it's just something you really do have to go and see. I highly recommend it. So from there, I said my farewells to my mates who continued back down to Victoria. I drove back up to Murray, back through Birdsville, where I stayed in Birdsville the night, and then left from Birdsville the next morning and carried on back home. Now, to anyone who's sort of looking to do it with, you know, a patrol and not really towing anything but loaded up with gear, I do estimate it would have cost over $2,000 in fuel, so do account that into your budget. Obviously I camped pretty well everywhere that I was. I didn't stay in any hotels or any sort of accommodation. It was all camping, so that sort of thing was free, and cooked meals for a majority of the time. However, we did eat at the Mungarani Hotel and also at William Creek. So, you know, if you want to do a trip similar to this, yeah, you're going to want to obviously do your budget correctly, but yeah, it's certainly one of those trips that you need to do, and this sort of June, July period is certainly the best time to go, so I certainly recommend going during those times. I hope you have really enjoyed watching this little series of my trip. It was very enjoyable to film and to experience everything that we did. It was yeah, really awesome. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I will be doing a video soon, just do a bit of a breakdown of what I've actually done to the car, because I know I was rather busy during that period where I was getting ready for the trip, and I was doing a lot of things to the car but actually wasn't really showing what was going on. So I will do a bit of a recap of what I've actually, the new things that I've done to the car, so you guys have a understanding of some things that I've done and perhaps something that you can add to your build as well. So that will be coming very shortly, but again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's been a really great, it was a really great trip, and yeah, again, I know I'm harping on about it, but certainly add it to your bucket list because it's awesome out there. So if you do like this sort of content, there's plenty of this sort of stuff, so please do subscribe if you are new, and make sure you like and comment. If you do have any comments on my videos, muchly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you all in the next video.